I just got back from a big long trip visiting family and friends. New Brunswick, Canada, Holton, Maine, Rockport, Massachusetts, Naples and Rochester, New York. And then after that, I headed to the Catskills for a night, and now I'm back on Shelter Island, which feels very much like home, at least for now. Truthfully, I'm really traveled out and would like to just stay put for a bit. Since I've been back, I've been reflecting a lot on my relationships with friends, family, everyone I spent time with on this trip. I've also been paying close attention to how others relate to one another. I've been observing. And something really stood out to me. And I think it's mostly because it's something I do. We all make assumptions about people. We are assumption-making machines. Sometimes we're right, but sometimes we're not. Either way, those assumptions are really just stories we create. It feels like a form of judgment. When we can step back and just observe instead of judge, I think we do more good for ourselves and for the people around us. It actually provides us with some clarity about who we are. I say this because oftentimes the behavior we witness is a behavior that we see in ourselves. It's that mirror effect. Oh, that's why their behavior bothers me. I do it too. What I noticed over and over again is that people often settle for difficult behavior. Maybe they've spoken up before. Maybe they've tried to address it. But when nothing really changes, at least over a longer period of time, they just stop trying. They let it go. And you can feel the frustration and disappointment underneath that silence. It's as if they've decided that communicating how they feel really won't matter. That this is just who that person is. But I think we miss something when we give up on expressing ourselves honestly. I don't believe we are here to change or fix anyone. However, I do believe we can model behavior and we can communicate our needs effectively. If you're struggling with someone right now, maybe a friend, a partner, a family member, start with yourself. Ask yourself, what's really going on with me? Why does this bother me so much? How does it make me feel? So often when we finally do speak up, we focus on the behavior, what we don't like, instead of how it makes us feel. And when we skip that part, we miss the chance for a deeper connection. I also find that when I fess up about my judgy ways, it really opens the door for someone to share the difficulties they're experiencing. Or maybe they're just going, yeah, I do that too. And it's just downright relatable. So after you kind of do an inner, look at how it's making you feel and why it's bothering you so much, then maybe ask the hard questions. But ask them with curiosity and compassion, not judgment. Why do you think this keeps happening? Are you okay? Is there something you're going through that I might not understand? And then really listen. Because sometimes people aren't being difficult just to be difficult. They might be struggling with something you can't see. Don't assume just because you are close to someone or have known them forever that you know them fully. They might be trying to work through their own pain, or maybe they just aren't aware of how they're showing up. Of course, that doesn't mean you have to accept behavior that's hurtful or unhealthy. Some things are simply not okay. But there's a big difference between reacting out of frustration and responding with awareness. I'll be honest, I catch myself doing it too, making assumptions, judging others, sizing people up, and creating little stories in my mind. And when I notice that, I notice it. And so, what does that say about me? Do I have this need to make this story true? I think it's because deep down it feels safer to think I know instead of admitting I don't. I kind of fear that I think I know better. Ugh, that is not pretty. But honestly, I'm just tired of difficult behavior. And it's really hard to watch someone you love behave in a way that I'm sure they don't want to behave. It's exhausting. It's exhausting when I behave badly. And I really am exhausted by witnessing it. I'm realizing that what I really want to be is a compassionate observer. Someone who can see things clearly without having to fix, control, or label it. That's where I am right now, learning how to stay open, aware, and kind, even when it's not easy. I'm replacing judgment with curiosity. I imagine I will feel more at peace. Thanks for listening. Until next time.